Hey, everybody, thanks for joining me. I'm glad you're with me. I want to respond, do kind of a follow up to my last video about the H-1B visa program, along with some other things. But let me thank you for all the comments. I appreciate it. I do read them all, and I respond as much as I can. I wanted to just make clear, with particular regard to Vivek Ramaswamy, a lot of what started this whole thing were his initial comments on X/Twitter. And I disagree with a lot of what he is saying, as I voiced on my previous video. His assessment of many things in America I consider to be spot on. His assessment of the state of American education, I believe, is accurate. Where I disagree with Vivek is in his remedy, because his view is to fill particular tech jobs. I think is what he has in mind specifically, by importing foreign workers into the country. So while I agree with much of his assessment, not all of it, because he managed to insult basically a lot of good, hardworking Americans as far as I'm concerned, I disagree with his remedy. All these jobs that need to be filled can be filled by Americans. It's as simple as that. We need to preserve our culture, just as any other nation needs to preserve its unique culture. That's kind of part of what I was trying to say yesterday. Now, this story continues. This is ongoing. And at the time that I made that video, Donald Trump had not weighed in on this matter, because what's happening is you've got people who support Donald Trump, but there is great division among his supporters on this matter. You've got people that agree with Vivek and Elon Musk on this matter, and you've got people who vehemently disagree with them on this matter. People such as Steve Bannon, whom I'll get to in just a moment. But as of that show that I did, Trump had not yet weighed in. I kind of suspected what he would say based on history. And while I was disappointed in his response, it wasn't a big surprise. It wasn't a big shock. Donald Trump said to the New York Post yesterday, quote, I have many H-1B visas on my properties. I've been a believer in H-1B. I have used it many times. It's a great program, unquote. So there you have it. So Donald Trump is basically aligning himself with Musk and Vivek on this issue, much to my own personal disappointment. But again, I'm not surprised by this. I kind of expected that Trump would say pretty much exactly what he said. But what I want to get to is there was a real fight, if you will, between, apparently, from all I can tell, between Musk and Steve Bannon. You know Steve Bannon has been a Trump acolyte for quite some time. Steve Bannon worked in the first Trump administration. He has been a fervent and ardent Trump supporter. Steve Bannon, of course, went to prison earlier this year for contempt of Congress. Boy, that's another show right there, or at least. He refused to, it was about the J6 fiasco, and he refused to subject himself to that kangaroo court, and I don't blame him, and for that, he did some time. But he has always been loyal to Trump. But yesterday, he kind of got into it with Elon Musk on Twitter. And I want to show you or tell you what Musk said Saturday on Twitter. This is a direct quote from Elon Musk. The reason I'm in America, along with so many critical people who built SpaceX, Tesla, and hundreds of other companies that made America strong, is because of H-1B. Take a big step back and F yourself in the face, and he actually said the word I'm not going to use. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend, unquote. That is what Musk said, from all I can gather, to Steve Bannon. And Bannon replied later in the day saying this, quote, "Oh yeah, tough guy, that you're going to go to war on the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend. You're a man-child. To be blunt, I hate to make it personal, but what you have done is try to trash individuals, punching down. Remember the first rule of gladiator school, bro. Don't punch down. Either punch up here or punch up. The H-1B visa program is a total and complete scam concocted by the lords of easy money on Wall Street and the oligarchs in Silicon Valley to both initially to just increase profit margins. But there's a darker element to it today. A contempt of America in American citizens, and we're not going to tolerate it. You need to honor this country, and you need to honor the citizens in this country. The citizens in this country are what provided the platform for you nerds even to exist, unquote. That is Steve Bannon. So quite the brouhaha going on between two sides of a war between Trump supporters. Now, let's back up real quick. I am a Trump supporter. I voted for Donald Trump. He was not my first choice. I hate to tell you this, but Vivek Ramaswamy was. But, of course, things shook out to be between Trump and Kamala Harris, and Trump won, and I supported him. I encouraged you to support him, those of you in America. I voted for him. And I did so for basically at least two main reasons. Number one, I feel like we are still, as I make this video, on the precipice of a nuclear war with Russia and or China. And I believe that Trump will take us back from the edge of that cliff. And we just had to make sure that this absolute, utter lunatic, Kamala Harris, did not ascend to the presidency. Those are the main reasons I supported Donald Trump, and I still support Donald Trump, but I knew, and I probably alluded to it then, that even with Trump as president, there were going to be areas of great variance within his administration. In other words, I never have agreed with Donald Trump on a lot of things. I agree with him on many things. I believe that Donald Trump loves his country and would not intentionally harm his country. I believe that. I don't think I'm Pollyanna. And so I can respect that. I can appreciate the fact that at least we have a man who's trying to do the right thing for his country. Trump preaches America first. But folks, I got to tell you, this jazz that Musk and Vivek are pushing, this H-1B visa, this is not America first. And for Trump to come out and support this H-1B visa is in direct opposition to his rhetoric. He says all the time, America first. He says all the time, make America great again ad nauseum. This is not making America great again. This is not putting America first. This is the exact opposite of putting America first. And Trump is wrong on this issue. Get ready for the next 4 years. I'm going to be disagreeing with Trump an awful lot. Having said that, it's preferable to have Donald Trump than the other alternative, which was simply not a choice. But this does not let Trump off the hook, folks. Trump is wrong about this. Vivek is dead wrong about this, as is Elon, the richest man in the world, Musk. This H-1B visa program has been corrupted. It has been way overused, as far as I'm concerned, to the great expense and detriment of the American people. And so it is a disappointment for Trump to come out and support this. Bannon is right about this. Hopefully, people that are on the right side of this issue that have Trump's ear, can maybe talk some sense into him. I don't know. As far as I can tell, Trump is now surrounded by Musk and Vivek and others who may align with them philosophically on this matter. Obviously, Musk wields a tremendous amount of influence. He has a great deal of money, and he has the He owns the keys to Twitter, X. I don't know if I mentioned it yesterday, but he's acting, if you ask me, like a bully. There's a political pundit on Twitter, X, named Laura Loomer. You may know of Laura Loomer. I like a lot of what Laura says. I disagree with her on a lot of things. I'm not real crazy about her personally, but Laura Loomer, you'll definitely know where you stand with Laura Loomer. She is definitely a fan of Donald Trump, but I'm telling you, as soon as this brouhaha began over the H-1B1, she came out basically in alignment with what Steve Bannon is saying against Vivek and Musk. And she didn't attack Trump, but she did disagree with Musk. And I did mention this. And Musk, like a bully, took her verified Twitter account away. He's wrong to do that. It's not right. So Musk is wrong, Vivek is wrong, and Trump is wrong. Bannon is right. I'm in the Bannon camp on this deal. Have you heard from J.D. Vance lately? I haven't heard from J.D., so I don't know what's going on there. I'd like to hear what he has to say about this. I don't know if he has, the liberty to offer up perhaps a differing opinion, if he has one. I don't know if he does or not. But anyway, let me move on to good old Whoopi Goldberg. Good old Whoopi Goldberg. I wanted to get to this quite some time back, but I hadn't been making videos, as you know. I'm trying to get back in the groove. Bear with me, but I've just been swamped at work. That's just the bottom line. About 2 to 3 weeks ago, Whoopi Goldberg once again demonstrated how stupid she is on The View. I have never seen the program The View, the Disney-owned program The View. I have seen clips of it. I've seen snippets of it, but I just can't stomach it, folks. I cannot for the life of me sit there and watch the gals on The View. I just can't do it. If we were ever in a war and you caught me and made me a prisoner of war and you wanted to extract information from me, then put me in a room, chain me to a chair, and turn on The View. I'll tell you anything you want to know, because I can't take it. Whoopi Goldberg, to be kind, is an idiot. She is a blithering moron, sort of like Kamala Harris and her cohort on the show, Joy Behar. These people have no intelligence whatsoever. They do not know how to think critically. They don't understand an issue. AOC falls into this camp. I mean, they just lack common sense. They just don't have any. And Whoopi Goldberg was talking about the issue of health insurance. I'm not going to get too deep into the weeds here, but I just want to give you the quote and let you know exactly what she said. She's bemoaning the fact that the state of healthcare delivery in America, and I agree that we have state-of-the-art medical care in the United States. We have a crappy delivery system. I mean, we've all heard the horror stories. It's just ridiculous, where you go to the doctor and the doctor wants to do this procedure or prescribe this medication, but then you've got to deal with policy wonks at the insurance company who are dealing with, or maybe pharmaceutical reps or people like this, and there's third parties, and then you've got the government involved, and it's like the doctor has to get permission to get this prescription for you or have this procedure done. You got to jump through so many hoops to get it done. It is a problem. No question about that. And I would submit to you the problem was exacerbated via Obamacare. You know, when I was a kid, my mother would take me to the doctor and they would do whatever needed to be done to me, and we'd go out into the lobby. Even if I was hospitalized, we'd go to the cashier's office, and we were not wealthy people. We were middle class, probably lower middle class Americans, and my mother would just whip out a checkbook and pay the bill. End of transaction, end of story. It's not that way anymore, and it should be that way, folks. Healthcare should not be crippling the American people. And if it's been this way ever since the government got involved. If we could get the government out of the healthcare equation, things would improve dramatically overnight, just like they would with the education of our children. But Whoopi Goldberg said this with regard to insurance premiums. I pay an insurance premium. Marina and I pay an insurance premium to Blue Cross Blue Shield every month so that we can have health care insurance, right? Just got my new card in the mail this weekend. This is what she said, quote, Whoopi Goldberg, if I don't go to the hospital for a whole year, where is my money? Why don't you give me the money back? Unquote. Whoopi, darling. Whoopi is saying, I pay my insurance premium every month. January through December, I pay my insurance premium every month. But if I don't go to the hospital that whole year, or I don't go to the doctor that whole year, then why don't I get all that money back at the end of the year? This is the question she's asking. Whoopi, darling, I pay house insurance, right? Homeowners insurance. If I get through a fiscal year and paying my premiums for my homeowners insurance, but my house doesn't burn down by the 31st day of December, shouldn't I get all that money back using Whoopi Goldberg's logic? I pay auto insurance for 4 vehicles every month or every quarter. I don't know. Marina pays it. I think she pays every quarter. We pay all of our vehicle insurances to our insurance company. But if I don't have a wreck from January to December, shouldn't they have to give me all that money back? Using Whoopi's logic? How long do you think the insurance company would stay in business if they did what Whoopi Goldberg suggests? I'm sorry, but Whoopi Goldberg is an idiot. She is a blithering, blooming idiot. She is making stupid money, and her paychecks are signed by the Walt Disney Corporation. You hear that, Walt? All right, one more thing. All right, one more thing before I go. I got to do a little bit of sports news. This is college. It's not so much about sports, but it involves an athlete. This is college. I'm a college football fan. That's my sport of choice. And we're in the bowl season. The regular season is over. Now we're having the bowl games: Sugar Bowl, Peach Bowl, Rose Bowl, et cetera, et cetera. And we're having playoffs now. This is a new thing. And yesterday, there was a bowl game. I forget which bowl game it was, but it was a bowl game between the University of Miami Hurricanes and Iowa State Cyclones. Now, my bowl game comes up this Wednesday. Georgia, go Dogs, versus Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl. So wish me luck. But anyway, the Miami Hurricanes have a stellar athlete on their squad. The quarterback, his name is Cam Ward, C-A-M Ward, Cam Ward. Cam Ward is a senior, and he is projected to go very high in the NFL draft, the National Football League draft later on this April. He's projected he's probably going to be either the first or second choice. At least the first or second quarterback taken. He's an incredibly gifted athlete. And the last game of his collegiate career was last Saturday against Iowa State. Now, Cam Ward was trying to break a record for the most touchdowns thrown by a college quarterback. And he broke that record in the first half of that game. And at halftime, Cam Ward pulled himself out of the game and refused to play anymore. and his team went on to lose. Miami lost to the Iowa State team by 1 point, 42-41, with Miami playing with a backup quarterback. Now, why did he do this? Cam Ward did this because he has already made his declaration that he's going to go into the NFL draft. And the bottom line is he did not want to risk injuring himself, thereby damaging his draft status. Now, if you ask me, that's kind of crappy because football is a team sport, and Cam Ward, in my estimation, just quit on his team at halftime. He just quit on them. I don't want to get into the NIL, name, image, and likeness, which has completely transformed college football, and it's basically now professional football. That is to say, college athletes now can get paid to play. It used to not be that way. You used to get in trouble, but now you can take bids on your services. You can have schools offer you money to come and pay for them. And by the way, if you're getting paid to play football at the university of whatever, can you maybe at least handle your own tuition? Just a suggestion. Because Cam Ward didn't want to risk injury and thereby reduce his chances of being drafted so high, he quit on his team. He just quit. And they lost. I think that's being a crappy teammate. I think that's a poor example of sportsmanship. And it wouldn't hurt my feelings if his draft status fell, but I doubt that it will anyway. All right, folks, that's what's on my mind. Comment down below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the video, all the links down below. Buy me a coffee. I need some coffee. And I appreciate you watching. I'll talk to you soon.